Okay, I am going to unapologetically say this at the beginning of the video and, as everything unfolds, get into why I am coming to this conclusion. The Blue Jackets are ruining Patrik Laine, and the biggest piece of evidence with that comes from today's news that he will be a healthy scratch for CBJ against the Philadelphia Flyers tonight. Guess what? Laine is getting scratched, and Adam Boqvist is coming into the lineup as the Jackets go 11 forwards and 7 defense. Spencer Martin is also going to be in net. By the way, before we get into that, can somebody just give some props over to Spencer Martin? This guy has been making highlight reel saves. Sure, the Blue Jackets haven't been winning, but Spencer Martin, my gosh, former Canucks love, gotta go around here. But either way, when it comes to the Patrik Laine decision, the thing is, when you look at a healthy scratch for a guy like Patrik Laine, on paper, like at face value, it does not look great. There is a little bit of an argument that you can make when you acknowledge what's been going on with this guy on the ice the past few games. Here's a tweet from NHL News, Puck Report NHL. He's going to be a healthy scratch tonight, Patrik Laine is, in Philadelphia. He has no points in his last 4 games and only played just over 12 minutes in each of the last 2. Ouch. The thing is, if you go over to this game log, yeah, okay, this does not look great. He's had donuts all around. Laine has a total of 3 points in 9 games played this season, 0 points in his last 4, and he had 12 minutes in both of the previous 2 games, one of which was actually last night against the Capitals. The thing is, you could very well say that, oh, Patrik Laine is just not playing all too great. Patrik Laine hasn't been good. That's why he's getting scratched, because he deserves it, because of this, because of that. Here's the thing with Patrik Laine. Starting out the season, he had 2 points in 4 games played before getting sidelined due to injury. Yeah, you see that break from Friday, October 20th to Saturday, November 11th? He missed, what is that, like 20 days worth of the season because he was recovering? You could very well say that once he got back, he scored the goal against Detroit, all was looking good. You could say that, oh, he hasn't been playing great. That's why they've been scratching him. Well, the problem with that is that this entire time, Patrik Laine has still been played at center. The Blue Jackets are no longer trying him at wing. It's almost like center is his main position now, even though that started out as an experiment last year. The guy is not comfortable, he is clearly coming back from injury, he's not getting the ice time, and this strategy of scratching guys and continuously rotating them in and out of the lineup has been persisting with Columbus this entire season. Pascal Vincent is making no more friends with the way that he has been coaching this team, and Blue Jackets fans everywhere are saying, hey, wait a minute, Laine. What are you doing with Laine? He's a winger. Why are you trying him at center so much, only to scratch him when the center experiment doesn't work? This is a day that is really important for Patrik Laine, because today is the 2-year anniversary of his father's passing, and with the news that he is getting scratched, Pascal Vincent went out there and straight up said that, yeah, Laine is not happy about the decision, don't get me wrong. But right now, I think he needs to take a deep breath, go back to working the lab and get his touches back, get his shot back, get his confidence back, so he can be the number 29 Patrik Laine we all know he can be. And the responses to this go out there with pretty good diversity. You have one that says, agreed. You have another that says, hey, he's the worst coach in the league. Yeah, he is. And then another reply says, yeah, well, Laine also needs to be playing the correct position every night, because having him in a spot where he really is just not super used to, that's totally going to help him get his puck touches back, right? That's totally going to help him get his shot back, right? Patrik Laine is in such a strange position as a member of the Blue Jackets, on pace for the worst season he'll ever have in the NHL, pretty much. And the healthy scratches, the recoveries, it's not going to help him because the Blue Jackets are not helping him in this respect either. And going back over to all the scratchings, this has been such a pattern for this team the entire season. You see guys rotating in and around, always getting scratched. It's weird. Where has that strategy taken the Blue Jackets this season? Well, I'll tell you where. The bottom of the East. They're third worst in the entire NHL. Last in their conference, last in their division. Only the Chicago Blackhawks, Edmonton Oilers, and San Jose Sharks are in this same territory. Columbus stinks this year. Yet, you're going out there with the audacity to scratch a guy like Patrik Laine, who's not even playing in the position he's most comfortable in, saying that he needs to be better. Like, why not just move him back to the wing? Why go out there through the unnecessary hurdles of trying to scratch a guy who's already been in a slow recovery phase and getting 12 minutes a night, getting benched alongside of Johnny Gaudreau, who seems to have mailed it and called it this season already? Like, where exactly do you go here? I know I'm making one entire video talking about how a guy just got scratched, but we did the same thing for Kent Johnson a few weeks ago. That guy got sent down to the AHL, and now there are ideas floating around that he could request a trade. Patrik Laine is in a very odd spot, and I just cannot help but feel terrible for the guy. And to help us out, we're going over onto the subreddit. There are some comments that I wanted to read that I thought illuminated some interesting perspectives here. WTF is happening in Columbus? Both Laine and Gaudreau are off to the worst starts of their careers by far. Kent Johnson, their 5th overall pick from 2 years ago, was sent to the AHL, and the team is last in the East. It's Columbus. This is standard, LaBeouf says. Then an actual reply goes out there and says, hey, it's the random line combinations. Laine and Gaudreau are playing line 3 for a while. I think they want another high draft pick. The new coach seems confused too. Maybe next year? Yeah, it's great when you have guys like Patrik Laine and Johnny Gaudreau playing on your third line. Here's another quote that I thought was interesting. The guy is trying to coach like he is John Tortorella without the hardware or history to back it. I'm no fan of Torts, but it's one thing when a former Jack Adams winner keeps benching veteran players. It's an entirely different thing when a random, essentially no-name coach tries doing it too. If he hasn't lost the room already, it's not going to be long. The GM and coach need to go at this point. If you want to send a message to Laine, that's one thing, but adding Boquist to the lineup isn't a good substitute for hardworking players. Okay, we'll get out of the Boquist conversation for now, but when it comes to Patrik Laine, it seems like the Blue Jackets are doing everything they can to not really set this guy up for success and not give him the opportunities to actually grow and become better. Top 6 minutes? Nah. Winger minutes? Nah. Let's scratch the guy after giving him such little ice time and little opportunity to fully encapsulate his skill set whilst recovering from this injury. Like, where do you go from here? If you're Columbus, what happens with Patrik Laine? If you're a Blue Jackets fan, do you see this guy end up getting traded sometime soon? I mean, he's making $8.7 million a year till the end of 2026. He's got a modified no-trade clause during this season's worth of play, and hey, guess what? If a player is getting scratched and underutilized and not really playing proper minutes, it would be totally fair to assume that he could waive that no-trade clause and request a trade to any team. I mean, this could be one of these situations where if Laine ends up feeling a little bit disgruntled, it's like the Pierre-Luc Dubois thing all over again, but kind of different. So I have no idea what the future is going to hold in store for Patrik Laine. The guy is on pace for 16 goals on the year. We'd already talked about him declining overall as a goal scorer and becoming more of a playmaker, versatile center. He was a point per game the past 2 seasons. Now he's on pace for like a third of that, so yeah, good on him for going through this development phase with Columbus and having them utilize him the way they have been. But either way, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Patrik Laine? What do you think his future is actually going to hold? Is he going to play in Columbus in the future? Does Johnny Gaudreau suffer a similar fate sometime later this year? Both of these guys have been disappointing. Both of these guys have not shown off well. I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about this entire story? I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.